Welcome to the Mamaverse, the ultimate self-care journey for every mama. I'm excited to share today. Our guest is Shontae. She is a parenting empowerment coach with experience in fertility, bereavement, infant loss, and single parent mental wellness. Hi, Shontae.
How are
Good. How are
you?
you? Thanks for joining the IG Live.
Yes, no problem. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm super excited for today and today's convo.
Yes. So today's topic is finding mental wellness through loss. It's a big topic that we probably don't get to speak about much, but I was just just hyping you up here. You do all the things. You're a single mom of two, you're a parenting and wellness podcaster, you're a blogger, and a holistic fertility doula. So I want to get into all of that. Shantae, I'd like to invite you if you want to do a quick intro of yourself.
Yes, of course. Again, just like she said, my name is Shontae. I am a parent empowerment coach as well as an infant loss grief coach, holistic fertility doula. Excuse me. I have two podcasts. One that focus on fertility and infant loss, as well as one that focus on balancing parenting and wellness. Um, and yeah, I do a lot of stuff, just really just trying to empower parents at many different areas of their life, and different things that they battle and deal with.
Awesome. So out of all the things you do, what are you most focused in, or what do you put most of your energy in besides being a mom?
Right. So which is infant loss, grief coaching, and parenting and wellness.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are my main things that I focus on. I incorporate fertility for moms who have experienced infant loss and are trying to get pregnant, and they just have different maybe physical barriers, but I focus more on the emotional and mental barriers.
Okay. So that leads us right into today's topic of, you know, um, finding our mental wellness. We're going through loss, which obviously is very difficult. So when you say infant loss, is this like miscarriage, or is this like in life, or after
Right.
birth, I guess
So
I should say?
yeah, so I'm focusing on pregnancy and infant loss. So that means that if you give birth, or maybe you know that you're about to have you're going to deliver a stillborn,
Mhm.
I can help you cope with that and trying to not only acknowledge your grief, but get you to feeling restored and feeling and embracing this new perspective on life that you have, because realistically things will never be the same.
That's like something that I feel like a lot of women probably experience but don't talk about much. And I don't know if it's just like in society we just don't really talk about that. And I think it's really really valuable to just be okay with expressing that. So how do you even go about helping a mom going through this difficult time?
Right. So, with working with me, we'll definitely want to focus to acknowledge your grief,
Mm-hmm.
because I do know that everybody grieves differently, and sometimes because it's so hard, sometimes they want to just kind of get back to life, go to work, and do this and do that, and that's not it's not good mentally or emotionally to do that. So, acknowledging your grief and then finding a support system that's going to allow you to grieve.
Mm.
Because I know for me, when I lost my daughter, I already had a 3-year old, and so I was like, still had to be a mom. So I'm that support person, right? Naturally, I can't, make dinner or whatever the case is, but if you just need someone to vent to and to find what resources, people who can come and help if you don't have a village that's going to be there for you. So start off by working with that, and then I strictly work with women who are believers of Christ. So if you are a believer, then do a lot of Bible study and trying to figure out how you can find strength in God, as well as realizing your natural, real emotions. So you're going to be angry, you're going to be frustrated, and those are things that you are allowed to feel. You're allowed to have those emotions. But what we want to do is surrender them to God, which is a journey in itself because it's our body and we experience the loss. But He's here to help us to get through that. And then, so for after that, we work on things that you love and that you enjoy before you had your baby. And then as we go through that process and getting a routine, a self-care routine and everything like that, we're going to celebrate our baby because it is, you did at one point feel joy, of being pregnant and experiencing that. And so just kind of living in that joy and those emotions that you had while you were carrying, focusing on that and then finding ways to celebrate your baby and because she was part of your life and your family.
Shontae, I'm wondering, are you using a microphone? Because like the audio is like keeps chopping off, and I'm kind of catching. Yeah, I want to make sure that everybody can hear you.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm not using a microphone though. No.
Okay, that's better. Whatever you did, it sounds better.
Oh, I put my phone down. Okay.
Okay. Maybe you were covering up the microphone.
Oh yeah.
It actually it's still like kind of coming in and out.
I don't know why. I closer to the window.
Okay, maybe. Right now, I think you're good. Right now, I think you're good.
Yeah, okay. Okay. I pray that this will go well. So hopefully.
Yeah. So how does a mom go about finding you or somebody like a doula that supports women in this aspect? Like I didn't even know this existed. So I was really like excited to find you, but like how would women know to even like look for you?
Right. So clearly I'm on Instagram, right? I'm on Instagram or whatever. So I feel like it's reaching now social media is kind of like Google, whatever. So like, once you acknowledge like, okay, I can't do this on my own. So you can Google grief coaches, grief support, as well as type in the search bar in Instagram. And also, I do know that in certain areas, in different communities, like you can go and, call your insurance company or something like that or whatever and see how you can find some sort of grief support. And with doing that, they can link you to different grief counselors or coaches in your area.
Are you also connected with like hospitals as well so that they would be able to refer out instead of just like, okay, procedure, and then you can figure it out, mom, you can figure out how to handle yourself emotionally?
Right. So I'm working on that because I'm also a bereavement doula. So for women who they know that they're about to deliver a stillborn. So in that aspect, I'm working on getting connected to the hospitals, but it's not as easy as I thought it would be, especially in the area that I'm in or whatever. A lot of the hospitals, they have a lot of rules and regulations. So, it's like, okay, if you're not a certified psychologist or a certified, social worker, then you would not even have access to, like to patients. So it's definitely, I feel a lot of word of mouth and a lot of doing your own research.
So being a bereavement doula, is that pretty much what you just described before? Like, or is it something different?
It's different.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right. It's different because like the bereavement doula, again, she's going to come to support you and help you deliver your stillborn. And she's going to help you a little bit after in regards to preparing for funeral services and just providing you with all these resources. So connecting you to a therapist, and possibly a grief coach, or something like that. Compared to grief coaches, you had that experience and now you're trying to not get over it, but trying to like cope with your loss. And so you need someone that's going to take you through those steps to get you to where you want to be in life.
I see. Okay. So how much of your process do you work with also the partner? Is it like just the mom, or are you working with like both, or how does that process
Right.
look
So
like?
it's both. Majority of the time or whatever, for the women that have reached out to me, it's just them, whatever. But working with both, because everybody grieves differently.
Mm,
So like I created like this mind map because in my own personal situation, it was I wanted to be clingy to my partner at the time, and he wanted space because that's
mm,
how he was dealing with the grief. So working with both, it's like what we want is to establish a healthy communication, because a lot of people end up splitting up after loss. It is not even just infant loss, it's just child loss, just in general, because they feel like this person isn't grieving enough for them, or they may feel like this person is grieving too hard. So working with both, where we can establish this healthy communication, this boundaries, it's like this person may not want to talk about grief all the time,
mm.
whatever. And so I like to establish, like that, with, like the clients or whatever, like let's honor each other's time and boundaries and when we want to talk about grief. And just because he or she isn't crying their eyeballs out doesn't mean that they aren't. I hear that static.
I think what you do, just lower your volume a little bit. I think it might
Okay.
be like the feedback from the phone.
Okay. How
You
how
sound
how does
good
that
on my
sound?
side.
Okay, good. Okay, because I'm like, I sense I'm hearing some static here. Okay,
That's why
okay,
I
good.
try to use headphones, so like to make sure that everybody can hear me.
Like it's like yeah, that's what I should have did. I'm sorry about
That's
that.
okay.
Yeah, so right, so I want to create that boundary for for the parents, so that way
Hmm.
grief doesn't consume and tear apart the relationship, especially because you both are going through the same thing.
Hmm. Hmm. So it also, you also say that you're a fertility doula. Is that something that's like
Yeah.
something separate too? Okay,
So
okay. Like, can you map this out for me? Because even
yeah,
I've been in like the mom breastfeeding space, and I just recently found out. I mean, like I knew about doulas, but I didn't know there were like so many subsets of doulas. There was like a postpartum doula. I'm like, oh my god. Now there's like
yeah,
and then there's like bereavement doula, and then fertility doula. Can you like let me know? Yeah.
yes. So I know, right? So, fertility doula, say someone is trying to get pregnant, they're ready to expand their family, and maybe they have already experienced, fertility issues,
Mm,
or maybe they're just like, listen, my lifestyle isn't where I want it to be, and I need support, that's when a fertility doula steps in, and it's just like a birthing doula, non-medical but supportive,
mm-hmm.
providing emotional and mental support, as well as providing tons of holistic ways you can, prepare your body for a baby.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what fertility doula is for.
What do you mean by holistic ways?
So we do know, we do take the prenatals and different things like that, whatever, to pump up the iron and
Mm-hmm.
the folate and all that good stuff. But speaking about nutrition wise, so managing that, eating your fruits and vegetables, your spinach and different things like that, water intake, preparing yourself, dealing with stress management. So there's different,
Mm,
ways we can help you tackle that, and again, establishing a self-care routine. Because I do understand that, a lot of people say fertility has nothing to do with stress. Stop telling me to calm down,
mm,
like that. All of those play a part. Whatever, eating, eating whole foods, and drinking a good amount of water, and managing your stress, which is meditating and yoga and different things like that. Whatever you feel will help you, to be
mm-hmm.
less stressed, as well as, eating certain things to amp up your husband's sperm count, you know what I
Mm.
mean, or whatever. And also different ways to find intimacy in the bedroom. We also, help with that. And did you know there's sex doulas also, which I think is so
What?
awesome?
What?
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So just someone that's just there is going to just support you and provide you with um, advice and guidance on how you can get pregnant naturally. And if you
Mm,
are, you know, have to use, like Western medicine or whatever, IVF and stuff like that, you still can have a holistic fertility doula because she's just going to amplify everything that your doctor is saying and also hold you accountable to what your doctor is saying.
mhm.
Because a lot of like, oh yeah, I went to the doctor, they said eat these, eat this vegetables or whatever, but you're not doing it. So that fertility doula is like, hey, did you do what you need to do? And it's just like your your accountability
Mhm,
partner for
mhm.
your
Interesting. As I've been like building the Mamaverse and speaking to all these different wellness experts, I hear stress a lot. It's like I hear stress in everything and how it impacts your gut health and mental wellness and everything. And then I mean, I guess now I think about it makes sense how like it can impact your ability to conceive because stress and like it impacts your hormones and then your body if your body's not feeling I guess safe then
yeah.
maybe it may not happen. So I'm guessing and I can see how moms were like trying to get pregnant and not getting pregnant, like that can cause like a whole circle of stress and
Yeah.
anxiety as well, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And it comes with that. And yeah, and the stress, anxiety, frustration,
Mm.
anger,
Mm-hmm.
all of those things. And then it's also the support from the partner
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes guys may think it's a woman problem,
Mm.
but it's not. It's us, so it's a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it is a very like intimate, important topic. Oh, that's so interesting. Okay, so for you, which part of the doula spectrum are you like mostly in? Like the on the
So I started off with being fertility, but then I realized that helping moms with like go over grief and coping with grief and infant loss is like really, really special to me because I've also experienced that.
mm-hmm.
So I incorporate fertility in that for moms specifically who are trying to conceive
I,
after loss.
oh, I see, I see. So it all comes together. I get it.
Right, right, exactly. If someone is, have not experienced loss, but they want to, they are in need of fertility support, and actually, I'm not going to turn them down. Be like,
Mm-hmm.
no.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's where I incorporate fertility doula.
Mm-hmm. So in your experience in working with all your clients, would you say like or like what would you say is like the number one thing, what number one advice you would give to the moms like going through this experience of like loss and then trying to conceive again? Is there like a number one tip that you would give them?
Yes, I would say to take your time.
Mm,
Like that is very important because not only like you don't have to rush the process, like the grieving process. And that's great for your mental health and emotional, but also for your physical body.
mm,
Rushing to get pregnant because you want to fill your womb again because it's now empty and it's, whatever. So you want to like just kind of like not think about your loss and just hurry up and just like let's try to replace it and whatever,
mm,
and that already causes a lot. That's more anxiety, frustration, sadness, depression, especially if you're not like I've been trying for this amount of time and I'm not pregnant yet, what's going on,
mm-hmm,
whatever. So just really just take your time, allow your body to heal, allow your um emotions and like to, yeah, just like allow yourself time to heal,
mm-hmm.
from the grief. There's no rush. There's no timetable on grief. You can't say to yourself, wow, it's been, 2 months. Like I should be feeling this way by now.
Mm,
But no, you never know how you're going to feel until you're actually in that process, and just take your time.
mm-hmm. What do you think it is that like pressures moms to hurry or like what's the time pressure from? Is it the
I
biological clock like society says I should have kids by this age or
I feel like it's a lot of the questions that you get from family and friends
mm,
because it's like oh, you lost your baby. What's wrong with you?
Mm.
Like, is it you? Was it him? Well, like, what did you eat? What were you, so you
Aw.
want to, I feel like there's a huge part that's like wanting to show everybody, like, I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me. I can have a baby, as well as try to prove to yourself that you can have a baby because you just lost a baby. So you feel like your body let you down. Um, and that's where I feel like the pressure is from. And because it's not talked about, it's an uncomfortable situation. It's an uncomfortable conversation. Like, I lost my baby, and it could be for the third time, for the fourth time, like, you know what I mean, or whatever the case is, because loss is still loss. Yes, from from 2 weeks, from a miscarriage to, stillborn infant loss, or whatever the case is. So I feel like a lot of it is just trying to prove to yourself and other people that your body
Mm.
can.
Yeah.
That like is like the, oh, I must get pregnant now. I must continue to do this now.
Yeah. Oh man, like this topic is so like emotionally charged.
Yeah.
I definitely feel empathy and compassion for all the moms out there who might be going through that, and I want to let them know, like, they're not alone. There's wonderful people like you, Shantae, who can help guide and support and give space in that time. And I think that's wonderful what you do. It's so awesome.
Thank you so much. And I thank you so much, because it is heavy. I went through it, I do this because I'm them, like I was them, I am them. And I remember trying to conceive after, whatever. It took me 5 months. But and I remember just like going, like, the heaviness that I felt of, why is this happening? I had a baby already and she was fine. So why is my body? And I remember saying to my doctor, like, is this always going to happen? Am I always going to have this, this problem, whatever? And she was like, no, every placenta is different, and so on and so forth. So it was a lot of fear. So I'm grateful that God has provided me with the ability and the platform to do this, to help women. And my program is called the Light After Loss program, because that's what I found after loss. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to get as many women and parents, angel parents, that, from feeling hopeless to hopeful.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. That's
Thank
beautiful. And what was it?
you.
Did you have guidance through your grief, or did you just somehow like manage through it and figure it out yourself?
I gave it to God.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy, but um for me, I had the village to help me to grieve.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was, I
That's
feel like,
lucky.
if my,
You're lucky.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. If my mom, my grandma, family and friends and drop by, or take my daughter, watch her and stuff like that, so I can legit lay in my bed and cry my eyeballs out for days,
Mm-hmm.
um, I would not be here right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm like, I do offer, like, free support, or just an hour of, you just want to vent, whatever, because everybody don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
True.
um, so I really honestly do wish I would have came in contact with a grief coach, or, a therapist. I didn't even have a therapist at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I'm like, okay, if I could do this with just my family, with my village and God, then I know that I can help someone who they have their village, God, and someone that's
Mm-hmm.
like, hey girl, I've been through it. I got you. You're
Mm-hmm.
gonna get through this. You don't feel like it. You don't have to rush,
Mm-hmm.
but, like, next year you're not going to be where you are right now mentally.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's something about like talking to somebody who's not directly in your circle that's like easier to talk about things. And I think it's like this,
Yeah,
um, like you're not really worried about being judged, because you're like
right.
somebody that's not directly in my circle doesn't know like all the things about me, can just let me know how it is, like just in this situation, and that's all I need right now. And I think that's like
Yeah,
hugely valuable. Sean,
it is.
I think what you're doing is beautiful and amazing work. I want to make sure that everybody that's watching the replay, give Shontae a follow. She's amazing, amazing mom doing wonderful work in helping parents finding their mental, emotional wellness through loss. And is there anything else that you want to share as far as your offer? Um, Anything else?
Yeah, sure. First of all, I just want to thank you so much
Yes.
for reaching out to me. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. And this was like last month, I want to say, right when you had just started the
Yes,
Instagram.
yes.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, girl, yes, for sure. So I'm super, super grateful for this. Again, my program is called the Light After Loss program. I'm creating a course that's going to take you step by step from the grieving process and how you can feel restored by God's grace, as well as offer one-on-one sessions, and also fertility sessions or whatever. If you are, trying to conceive. Um, and so thank you so much again for this. May God bless you. Uh,
Thank you
what
so
else?
much.
I have like so many things. Also, if you know anyone who have a baby that's in the NICU, I have a NICU journal for moms who need to just write it all out. That's what helped me. I'm doing everything and creating everything that helped me get to where I am right now by God's grace.
Oh my God.
So,
Thank you so much. You're like so amazing. I love this conversation. I would
thank
love
you
to
so
have
much.
you again, like in the Mamaverse. I'll like DM you and we can figure something else out. Make sure everybody follows Shontae, and so thankful that you were on live with us, and I'd be happy to like connect again.
Yes, totally, because I want to have you on my
All
podcast.
right,
Yeah.
let's do this.
So thank you. So thank you so much. God bless
Okay,
you.
thank you. I'll talk to you later.
Alrighty,
Bye.
bye.